Today, I'm here to ask the age-old question. Do you need that? Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I'm going to be asking and answering and giving advice on something I'm sure many of us are plagued with, which is, do I need that? If you're like me, you love makeup, but you don't have the funds that necessitate the hobby of makeup because makeup is very expensive. So of course I can't go out buying every single thing I want when I want it. So there has to be some sort of process that I can go through that will help me dictate whether or not I truly need a product. So today that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk you through my thought process for how I decide what I bring into my collection and the thought that goes behind that. So if you're interested in learning what I do and maybe learning some tips for yourself, stay tuned. So like I was saying, if you're like me, you have more makeup than any one person will ever need or use in their entire life. And yet, you still buy more. Why? Because I lack self-control. Well, it's not that I lack self-control. It's just like I said, makeup is a hobby for me and it's one that I enjoy. So having a lot of makeup isn't necessarily enough of a deterrent to stop me from buying more makeup. So what I want to do here is kind of, like I said, walk you guys through my thought process and the steps that I take to determine whether or not something is going to be a good buy for me. Because like I said, I don't really want my makeup collection to get out of hand. I think makeup is a hobby and it's something that's meant to be enjoyed and it's meant to be used. I remember when I was first getting into beauty YouTube, when I was maybe like 14, 15 years old, and I would see these people with these huge makeup collections, and I used to aspire to that. But now, after having and accumulating so much makeup, that's not really my goal anymore. My goal now is that I want to be able to use what I have. Like I said, makeup is meant to be used. It's a hobby for me. I like to wear it. I like to apply it. So I want to be able to use what I have. So therefore, I need to keep my collection as manageable as possible. So what I try to do now is strike the balance between having enough variety to get a ton of different looks, but then it's concise enough that I can use everything. So that's the balance I try to strike whenever I'm determining whether or not I want to bring in something into my collection. So I'm also making this video because I don't really want this channel to be a review-based channel. I know that's really popular right now and there's plenty of channels out there for you to watch that if that's what you want. But for me, like I said, I don't have the money, really, just to be frank, I don't have the money to make this a review channel. So I'm trying to come up with new ways that I can engage with and talk about makeup that don't necessarily require buying something new every single time it comes. So that's what this video is gonna be.
I beg your pardon?
So here it goes. This is my 4 tips for people who already have too much makeup to determine what they should or shouldn't bring into their collection. Now, this isn't going to be product specific. This is more a general set of guidelines that you can follow to apply to any one product to determine whether or not you should bring it into your collection. If you follow these steps, the answer is going to be different for everyone. Products that I may say, as a result of going through these steps, are worth bringing into my collection, you may not feel the same way, and vice versa. So just take this with a grain of salt, really personalize it and make it your own. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but hopefully I can help you and help myself in the process. So without any further ado, I've been rambling forever, let's get on into it. So the first question I want you to ask yourself when determining if you should bring a product into your collection is, what does this add? All right, what does this add to your collection? What does it do for your collection? Does it fulfill a niche? Does it expand on what you already have? What does it actually do? I know I've bought products in the past that I bought off recommendation from someone else, but it didn't really do anything for me. It's not a product I use. It's not a product I enjoy. It's not a color I enjoy, whatever. So therefore, it wasn't really a good buy for me. So you can ask yourself that question. What does this do for my collection? Is it just me trying something new? And that's fine. I like trying new things too, but even with new things, I have to determine whether or not this product is even worth it to me to try. So like, for example, right now, what's really big is like colored lip balms. That's like a huge product that's coming out right now. So many brands are coming out with them. But for me, I don't really wear colored lip balms. Lip balms serve one purpose for me, and that's usually just to moisturize my lips before I put something else on top of it that looks more like this. Which, by the way, this is I think it's called Crown Me from the lip bar. I have it sitting right here. Let me see. Yeah, this is Crown Me from the lip bar. That's what I have on my lips right now. I'll have the rest of my face down below so you can see what I have if you have any questions about it. But anyways, like I said, I don't use lip balms just on their own. They're always underneath something else. So buying a colored lip balm wouldn't really do much for me. So that's the kind of thought process that you should walk yourself through whenever you're determining whether or not you should buy a product. So the next question you need to ask yourself before you buy anything or bring it into your collection is, do I have something similar? Let's keep it real. Most things that come out nowadays, there's nothing new under the sun. Somebody somewhere has probably done something similar to what you're looking at some point. And if you're like me, you probably have something similar, because if you like it where they have it in this new thing, you've probably always liked it, if that makes sense. So before you buy something new, I would suggest you look through your collection for anything that could possibly give you the same sort of look or the same appearance. So for me, with all my glitters, I have just about, or I can mix just about any glitter color you could possibly think of. So there's really no need for me to buy new glitter when I could just repurpose the old glitter. So I would do that same thing. Walk yourself through that process. Look through your collection for anything you want to see if you have any dupes. And if you do, use that instead. So the third thing I want you to do is ask yourself, is there a reason why you don't have this product already? So, you know, we're humans, so we're creatures of habit. So therefore, we kind of tend to gravitate towards the same types of things over and over and over again. Even when our tastes change, we tend to start still gravitating toward the same types of things. So ask yourself, is there a reason why you don't have it? This is something, it's kind of like a chicken before the egg type situation where you have to ask yourself, do I not have this because I don't like this? Or do I not like this because I don't have it? You got me? So it will be something like, for me, it was a pastel palette, okay? It was, specifically speaking, I think it was the Menagerie Cosmetics, the Pastel Pup palette. I go back and forth looking at that one a lot because I think it's really pretty, but I can't really justify it because I look at it, it's full of pastels, and I have to keep in mind, there's probably a reason why I don't have any pastels really right this second. Like I said, I was gonna buy it because it fulfills a niche, you know, I don't have pastels. But is there a reason why I don't have pastels? The answer is yes, it's because they don't tend to work out that well on deeper skin. That's the reason why I didn't really have pastels, because they all just turned to ash on me. So there was really no need. So again, it's like that question of, do I not have this because I don't like it, or do I not like it because I don't have it? And I mean, I can't answer that question for you. You're gonna have to answer that question for yourself, but I think that's something to consider whenever you're considering buying something. So the fourth thing I want you to consider is this worth the money? Now, this is the most, I think, straightforward, straight shooter answer, but it's kind of hard also because, like I said, makeup is expensive. Makeup in general is quite expensive. So realistically, I don't know if there's any makeup that's worth the money. Plus, worth is very subjective. Everyone determines it worth differently. So what's worth it to me may not be worth it to you. So this is one of the more individualized ones. You're gonna have to decide for yourself whether or not it's worth it. Like, for example, I can pay $40 for an eyeshadow palette and I think that's worth it. But someone else may not think it, someone else may be willing to pay more. So you just have to kind of answer those questions for yourselves and ask yourself, would you rather have this product instead of the money that it took to get that product? Like, just walk yourself through it. Like, if I take this $40 and spend it on an eyeshadow palette, am I gonna be pleased with that purchase and make it feel like it's worth my $40? And if the answer is kind of no, or if you're kind of unsure, I would at least hold off a little bit, just because, like I said, I feel like when I spent money on something, but I think it was worth it, even if it was expensive, I don't mind to spend it as much as if I spent it, but then I didn't think it was worth it. So just stop, ask yourself that question, is this truly worth the money to you? For example, one of the things that I had to do lately with that was the Natasha Denona bronze palette. I don't know what attracted me to it realistically. I just thought it was pretty. So I was considering buying it, but it's $65.
What?
Which for an eyeshadow palette is expensive. Now, granted, for Natasha Denona, it is cheap considering most of her palettes are over the $100 mark.
What?
So it's cheap for Natasha Denona, but that would be the most I've ever spent on an eyeshadow palette. So for me, I had to sit there and honestly ask myself, is this worth the money to me? And the answer ended up being no. I just, like, especially after seeing swatches and seeing how light it pulled, I'm like, this is not gonna be worth it to me. I'm not gonna get use out of it. So therefore, there's no reason for me to buy it even though I want it. So again, just ask yourself, is this truly worth the money? So the fifth and final thing I want you to consider whenever you're deciding whether or not to bring something new into your collection is this unique? Is this unique not only to your collection, but is it unique in general? I mean, I know I just said that nothing's new under the sun, which is true. Nothing's new under the sun. I think just about everything you can think to create has been created in some capacity at some point in time. But people can still come up with new color stories, new themes, new packaging, new ways of assembling things that are unique. So with that in mind, is this truly unique? Like I said, not only to your collection, but in general. I think most things nowadays aren't that unique. They don't have that element of individuality that would make me want to buy it. And that's something I would say that's probably the most important thing for me is it in any way, shape, or form unique? Because realistically, if it's something that I can either dupe or it's something that I can find somewhere else for less money, I don't see the appeal of buying something that isn't really gonna do much for me. So is it actually unique is something that I would consider to be pretty important. So ask yourself that question, is it unique? So that's basically it. Those are my 4 turned 5 tips for determining whether or not something is worth it to come into your collection. Like I said, take this with a grain of salt, do with it what you will, take what works, leave what doesn't. But I think this is a good starting point for really thinking critically about what we bring into our collections. Because like I said, like me, if you're like me, you just have way too much makeup anyways. Like you have more makeup than the average person could ever need, ever use. But I mean, it's a hobby for me. I love it. It's my passion. It's why I started this channel. So, but that doesn't exempt me from thinking critically about what I do bring into my collection, because like I said, I really want to use up the things that I have. So therefore I can't have too much of it. Plus I don't want to overwhelm myself. So yeah, I mean, I hope that this helps you. I hope that you can use this and apply it to your own life to see what you can get, or rather what would be worth it to you. And I hope this helps someone. And let me know what your tips are for buying makeup. Do you have a different thought process than I do? Do you have something similar? Do you think I'm crazy? Let me know in the comments. I love dialogue. I love talking, as you can tell. So just keep it respectful and we can get something going. Like, share your tips down in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe. You can find me on Instagram at Deja Vu, on Twitter at Deja Vu 2, and you can also check out my podcast I do with my friend, Grossly Overqualified. It's everywhere podcasts are found. It's really funny and it's some different content than what you get here. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, shop smartly, think critically, and I hope you guys have a really amazing day. Thank you and goodbye.